Welcome to Daily Dose of Hebrew Weekend Editions. We begin today in 1 Samuel 3:14, and today we want to look at the sentence structure, parsing, and syntax before moving into the accent discussion next week. So let's read this together. Velachein nishbati levet Eli, im yitkaper avon beit Eli, bezevach uveminha ad olam. Now, for an overall translation of this before we get going, we have, and therefore I swear to the house of Eli, if the iniquity of the house of Eli will not be atoned for by sacrifice or by offering forever. Now, that may sound a bit odd at the moment, but let's begin to iron it out. Hang with me here. We'll start back at the beginning, and the verse opens with therefore, introducing an overall result to what preceded. In verse 13, the Lord said that he was going to remove Eli's house because of the sin of his sons and their blasphemy. Now, God emphasizes that destruction of Eli's house with an oath clause as the sure result of his declaration to destroy Eli's house. And the first verbal element here is nishbati. Here we have nifal perfect, 1cs of the root shavah, shin beit ayin, meaning to swear. Notice here the dagesh in the beit. Now this is simply a dagesh lene due to it being a begad kifat letter that's preceded by the absence of sound. So it's preceded by a silent shva, and hence it gets a dagesh lene. Here, let's not confuse this dagesh with any kind of PL stem. Notice also the 1cs distinctive marker of T at the end here. So we have a nifal perfect 1cs, I have sworn, something of that nature. Now, the perfect here should be read in context as a present, I swear. The idea of the perfect being completed action rather than just simply past tense helps render the verb correctly here. So God is currently making his oath about Eli's house, and so he is in the process of swearing, so present tense. It's not that he has sworn this in the past, and now Eli is implicated because he should have known better. Certainly Eli should have known better, but not because God has pronounced a previous oath against him. The perfect here as a completed action provides the nuance of the surety of this oath coming true. It is so sure that this oath will be carried out that it is as good as done, i.e., the completed action of the perfect. Now, for oath clauses, I would encourage you to check out Russell Fuller's new grammar, Invitation to Biblical Hebrew Syntax. It's published by Kriegel and came out earlier this year. In chapter 19, which is sections 65 through 68, he walks through the various elements of the oath clause. The basic elements are the introductory formula that we just parsed out, the I swear statement, or the as I live declares the Lord, something like that. Next, in an oath clause, is the curse formula, and this is the familiar phrase that you may have heard before, may the Lord do so to me and more also, something like that. Now, the actual element of what gets done is often left out. The actual curse is often left out because it is so severe that it cannot be spoken, but also this whole curse formula here is omitted because of the severity that's implied. Here, that whole curse formula, may the Lord do so to me and more also, is actually left out, and so the sentence jumps directly to the sworn statement element of the oath formula. So the sworn statement here is often introduced with im or ki, and in this case it's im. It is literally, if the iniquity of the house of Eli is atoned for by sacrifice or by offering forever. Notice here the verbal element yikaper. We have here a hithpael imperfect 3ms of the root kafar, kaf pe resh, to atone for or to cover. Now, I believe that most English translations render this statement with a negative. They would say something like this, and therefore I swear that the iniquity of the house of Eli will not be atoned for by sacrifice, etc., etc. Now, that's probably fine, but in the text itself, we don't have the negation. So if we read into this the null curse formula or the missing curse formula, then Eem is actually perfectly at home. So we might say something like this, and therefore I swear to the house of Eli, and now we would insert that implied curse formula, may the Lord do so to me and more also. Okay, now pick up the if. So may the Lord do so to me and more also if the iniquity of the house of Eli is atoned for, etc., etc. So now I'm going to be a little picky with how I translate that, just to stick closer to the Hebrew text, so that we can see what's happening there. However, I still will come out at the end of the day and agree that it is better to add the negation to the verse for it to make sense in English, rather than adding an entire curse formula that we don't see here. Even so, though, if we read this in Hebrew without the implied curse formula, the if clause, the Eem clause, feels like an open-ended conditional statement when this verse actually in no way implies a conditional. This judgment on the house of Eli is sure to happen. Now, as we come to the end of the verse, we get the bait of means on both sacrifice and offering. This bait is the means of instrument that would be used to atone for the house of Eli, both of which are considered insufficient to bring atonement. These baits are best translated as by, as a shortened form of maybe by means of, something of that nature. So the iniquity of the house of Eli will not be atoned for by means of sacrifice or by means of offering. And finally, we get the time element of until eternity, literally, but as a package, we have forever here. So again, the whole translation to wrap up the day, we have, and therefore, I swear to the house of Eli, the iniquity of the house of Eli will not be atoned for by sacrifice or by offering forever. So that wraps it up for today. Until next time, shalom.